bodies of work, NOK, which stands for Next of Kin, Making Peace with Death, and my latest film, For Mothers. And I'll be happy to have questions after and have a discussion about the work. That's the most exciting part when there is a project that is done. And at the end, if you are interested, there will be copies of the book for purchasing, and I'll be happy to sign you a copy. My name, for those who don't know me, my name is Inbal Abergil, and I'm an associate professor at the Media, Communication, and Art Department, and I'm teaching photography. It's registration week, so please sign up for photography courses, and I promise you a good time. I'm a fine art photographer, and that means that I'm presenting my work in galleries and museums around the world, and working in the documentary area, and my research focuses on the grief, loss, and mourning in the aftermath of war. So in the past 7 years, I've been meeting with Gold Star American military families. You become a Gold Star family when you're a family member that is serving in the military and passed away. As long as they are serving, they are a Blue Star family, and once they are passed away, they become a Gold Star family, a club that nobody really wants to join. So over the past 10 years, I've been meeting with Gold Star military families all over the United States that lost their beloved ones in combat from World War II, Vietnam, Enduring Freedom, Afghanistan, Iraq, and taking pictures of the object that they keep to keep the memory alive. In this case, I met with the Ortega family in Miami. They lost their son, William, and this is his uniform. And the family is not speaking any English, and the daughter was translated for me. And it was still emotionally charged. And they came from Nicaragua, because in Nicaragua it's mandatory to serve, and they came to the United States, wanted William to live a free life, but he chose to join, and he was a Navy and a Marine, which is a very unique combination. And only after he was killed, he received his American citizenship. While speaking with the family, and Maria, his mother, taking those objects out for me to photograph, and she told me that William always prepared her for the day that she will see the people with the uniform. That's how they call them. And those are the notifiers that come and notify the family when your beloved one is killed. And William prepared her for that day because the notifiers always need to be at the same rank of the deceased or above to pay respect. And he knew that there are not a lot of Spanish speakers that will be able to do that. So he just told her, when you see those people, just know that I've come. This is their living room in Miami, and his father told me that every morning he's asking the same question, why you needed to be a hero? He always told them, don't be a hero because heroes always die. And he preferred his son back over any kind of medal. And they took all those stuff for me to photograph. And while you get to meet the family, I always start with an interview, and then I move in to photograph the object while I have their stories in mind. Here I met Tracy, and she lost her wife, Donna, and because it's a same-sex marriage, she was never notified that her wife was killed, because they never recognized their marriage, even though they were legally married. And Tracy is a soldier herself. And the tattoo that you see on her arms is their favorite song, and she needed to fight in court for 4 years to be able to be considered as the NOK, as the next of kin, and claim back her wedding ring and keep her house. All the obvious things that we don't even think about, she needed to fight in court for 4 years for herself and for She received this set of medals, but that's the duplicate set of medals. She didn't get the original. And she got the duplicate just because the mother, Donna's mother, were still in good relationship with Tracy. And so she received the duplicate, but she definitely wanted the original. Here I met with Emily, and she lost her son, Isaac, in Iraq. And she received back his pillow and his t-shirt. She wrapped the pillow with his t-shirts, and that's how she sleeps at night. She hugs it, she pretends that it's him, and that's what makes her go through the night. Unfortunately, she lost her house, and she needed to place all her objects, everything, all the belongings of Isaac, back in storage, and she said that it felt like burying him again. And Emily is an unbelievable person. She named the street in the Bronx, the street where Isaac was born, she named it after Isaac. And she named the post office after him, and there is a race car after him. She's really doing all those amazing stuff because she's always in that thought, who will remember Isaac after I'm gone? And she really hoped that whenever you see a name on the street, you'll Google that name and see who that person was. Here I met with Liz. She lost her sister, Jamie, and Jamie was a lieutenant colonel. There are not a lot of women, female, in that rank. And when you are being deployed, you are always teamed up with the same rank and get a room and assign a room. And because there are not a lot of female in that rank, she always got her room to herself. So she got to collect a lot of stuff. This was one of the objects, the Barbie, that her sister and daughters wanted to play with, but she said, no, this is Jamie, I'll buy you a new one. And she decided to just take all of her stuff and spread it all over the house. And so she will have a constant reminder of Jamie wherever she walks in the house. This rag came from Afghanistan, and I took her medal and created this photograph. Here I met with Scotty in Colorado, and Scotty lost her son, Christopher. He was the most deployed soldier in the United States. He was killed on his 14th deployment. And when they came to notify her, it was October 21st, but they told her that he was killed on October 22nd. She said, well, it's confusing as it is. Why October 22nd? And of course, the time difference. He was killed in a day that she did not even yet live. And she's always describing how it is so challenging to remember dates and numbers once you experience loss. All those stories of the notification made me think about the people that actually come and make the notification. Who are they that knocks on the door, give the notification and leave, and sometimes refuse, how they make those decisions. So I wanted to meet with them. Of course, each and every step of this project incorporates a lot of bureaucracy and a lot of no, until you get one yes. And when I met with them, they always come in a team of two, a chaplain and a soldier. And I went to the training of the Army, every branch handled it differently, but the Army do training for 3 days, which I attended, and which was eye-opening, of how much care and empathy they put in the process, so the notification will be less traumatic as they can, so healing will be possible. And that's also when I started to think about the healing stage of the war, not just the loss. In this case, you see on the left, Sharon notified the mother in the middle of the night. They are allowed to notify from 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. and then they have to wait during the night to make the notification. It was in the middle of the woods. She had no one to call, no one to come and stay with her, and they have to leave. And she asked for a hug. And part of the guidelines is to have no physical contact whatsoever. And Lieutenant Colonel Sharon Chaplain Venpol here said that one of the notifications he did went as best as they can be, but on the corner of his eye, he saw a boy that with a glove, baseball glove, and a baseball, and he was crying, and he went to him and said, "Son, are you okay?" And he said, "Who will play baseball with me now?" And immediately he said, "It hits home. I have 4 kids, and I took out my jacket and went to play with him for an hour in the backyard." Again, it's things that they're not allowed to do. You're not allowed to take your dress jacket, and you're not allowed to stay there for an hour, for sure. And they're supposed to notify through their service only once, but it's really depends on the time that you serve. And Chaplain Paul here made over 200 notifications, and he said that at a certain point he stopped counting. And Ben here needed to do 2 notifications in the same day, because when there is a notification and someone is being killed overseas, they have a window of 4 hours before the media will be on top of it. So think about Scotty, where her son was the most deployed soldier. The media immediately wants to cover that. And they need to notify the mother, and they need to notify his wife, and they are both on different states, and they need to send 2 teams that will be ready to notify, that went through the training, that have the dress uniform ready. And that's the points where they can get out, basically. They can say, "I had a dream, my dress uniforms are not clean, I can't go and make a notification." But they don't. They make sure that their dress uniform is always ready, and they go and make that notification in a window of 4 hours. So in Ben's case, they couldn't find another team that was ready. So after he notified the mother and told him, "Okay, I can breathe now," they told him, "Well, you need to go and notify the father because the parents were divorced." And part of the question that I'm asking them is, how do you take care of yourself? Because when I wanted to meet with them, they said, "We have no story to tell, it's the stories of the family, it's not ours." Not thinking that they are part of that trauma. And he said, "Well, at the end of that day, I just went and had a drink. And again, they're not allowed to go with their dress uniform into a bar." So it is really complex kind of a job, and they try and do it the best that they can. My film, For Mothers, is the way that I wanted to end this project with. I interviewed 4 mothers that lost their beloved ones in combat, and wanted them to describe how life looked like 10, 15 years after the loss, after everyone expects you to get over it maybe after a year or 2. While whoever experienced loss understands that it never goes away, and you learn to live with it. And it became a manual for grief and how to deal with the loss, but also how to turn it around and be productive and be part of a community and help and make change. And they actually educate others about those losses and what can be done. I will show you a 2-minute trailer at the end in a few minutes. So when I started to put it all in a book form, and I see the book form as an opportunity to actually have the full project, because when we have an exhibition as artists, there is a limitation of space of how many walls you can hang on the walls. But the book is actually an opportunity to see a body of work from beginning to end and have the amount of work that you want that will fully describe this project. This flag is of the Ortega family. When I came to photograph the flag, Maria placed this flower on the flag, and I felt that it's amazing that she made it even more personal. So I took that picture, and I knew I wanted it for the film. I wasn't sure about the book, but then it made sense that the cover of the book has just part of the flag, and then when you flip the book and after you are done reading it, you get a complete flag that they received on the funeral. In the book, on the content, I really wanted to weave all the stories together from the family to the notifier and back and forth, and then end with the film. And in the book you have QR code for short segments of 10 minutes from the film, so you can see those conversations. And I gave a symbol for each and every one of them. So the mother received the flower, the gold star got the gold star family, of course, and the notifier received the flag. So you'll always have the opportunity to dive into the pictures, and then the text will follow up each and every notifier from their own experience. And then when there is a Gold Star family, there is the testimony from the interviews that I held with them. And in this case, this is the Monister family that lost their brother in Vietnam. And the amazing thing about it is when I came to the brother, he took those Polaroids from me. And as a photographer, I was very excited because you never get to see Polaroid in that kind of quality. And this is from 1968, intact. And basically, Robert wrote in the back of the description of where the place is, where he'd been, what he had done, and it was a magnificent kind of archive to discover. And those are the objects, and I interviewed the brother, Ray, and I interviewed his sister, Barbara. And it was important for me to also interview different family members of the same family because each one remembered in different way. And when that happened, they were kids. And each one were able to claim objects after their parents passed away. So it's also the element of time of what happened with those objects that we decide to keep or to give away or to donate, and which one we actually keep close. And it's amazing that they kept those very close until this day. This is his jacket. His Bible, and there was a ship that named after him later on, and that was the battle that they used when it was first launched. And then the mothers, they are experts in the QR code from the film. And that's what I will show you just now. So this is a 2-minute trailer of the film.
Every day for Gold Star Mother or Gold Star family is Memorial Day. It's such a journey. It's easy to think, okay, today I'm good. This is gonna get better.
mothers? Because you also said you interviewed like the brothers and the sisters when you were taking photographs of the items, so why specifically like mothers?
That's a good question. Thank you. Yeah, I think mothers are a force of nature. And as a mother myself, I'm still learning that power and how to navigate it. And, but there is something about mothers that have the power to change, and they are making a change. And no doubt about it. Each and every one of them is so genius with the white clothes. This is the outfit of the All-Star Mothers, which is, you know, went really high up all the way to be an associate president for the All-Star Women. And they really are, they are the first one that wants to go out and tell the story and share it with others. And they are the first one that wants to educate others. Most of them did not even know what All-Star Mothers are. And they got to know, unfortunately, what it is only after their loss. And they are there to make, they establish fellowships, they make educational program, they participate in any kind of public programming that I'm holding, and they come and they share their stories and they answer questions. And they are just really incredible women, and that had this huge loss, but at the same time took it up on themselves to change how we perceive it and also help others. And I have high admiration for them for doing so. And whenever I spoke with them, it was amazing how much they were willing to share. And I felt it can't stay just private with me. I really want to share it with others. And that's how the kind of personal conversation over the table came about. Yeah.
What was the thing that most surprised you during this time?
So many things. So many things. Every time I thought, okay, I'm ready for this family. I know enough. And you basically, I exchange email with them before I'm meeting with them. I'm making sure my husband knows where I am, ringing the doorbell, go into a family that I don't know, anything about, basically. And spending so much time with them, crying, laughing, and exchanging everything that we can. And then at the end of the day, we're a family. And I'm still in contact with everyone. And whenever whenever my work is going to a collection, like the National Gallery of Art or the Library of Congress, I immediately let them know. And because they said that the moment that they don't feel pain is when they speak about their beloved one, or when there are new information that's being shared about them, and they really just want to hear more. And so Jenny's, for example, going to the Arlington Cemetery every year with a huge picture of her son Jesse and sit there waiting for people to approach her if they recognize the picture, so she will hear new story about Jesse. And Esteline is participating in the training that the notifiers are doing, because when she was notified, all of her 3 kids were serving. And when they came and opened her door, she just wanted to know who, but they wanted her to first sit down and make sure that she is calm, how you can be, right? And then at the end, it was her son, Justin, and her son and Nathaniel, for some reason, the same morning when they were deployed, and they saw each other, they had breakfast, and then unfortunately, Justin was killed, and then Nathan escorted his body back. And every family I met, I thought, okay, I know what it is about, and then there was another story, and there was another aspect. And that's why I also wanted to meet with family from different kind of wars and conflicts. So it won't be just about one. And those were amazing, really stories. And when I met with the notifiers, family through the military, and of course they did not help me. They don't want to tell those stories. And then once I reached one family, they introduced me to other. And wherever they were, I traveled to them and always was transparent about what's going to happen, what it is that I'm doing, where those pictures will end up, and then have their, of course, agreement to take the pictures. They really want to share. And some of them told me, oh, but I don't know if you should come all this way. I don't have anything. I don't have anything meaningful. And I said, it's okay, I'll come. Don't worry. Whatever you have, it's okay. And then I come, and all of a sudden the memory really play in a different way, and they go to this room, and they pick something, and they go there, and before you know it, the whole living room is full of stuff, and I'm thinking, okay, I'll spend the rest of my life here. Like, I'm not going anywhere. But that's how things happen. Sometimes you have just one way of remembering things, and then when you share it, other things come up, other stories. And I always invite them, for my exhibitions and book launching and things like that. And they actually see that people care, and they come and they read. There is text next to the images, and they read the text, and it really gives them joy to know that people care and their beloved one's name is being shared again